Hi boys and girls, today I'm coming to you from my kitchen to teach you about fractions. Now a fraction is whenever you take something that is together and you break it up into equal parts. So a fraction is an equal part of a whole. Now, we're going to talk about whole for a second. If something is whole, that means that all parts are together. So this is one whole circle, so we could just call that 1. We have one whole square, and we have one whole rectangle. It has not been divided or partitioned into equal pieces. So it is one whole. When all the parts are put back together, it is one whole. So after one whole, we move down to halves, and you probably know what this is. But if something is divided into halves, it is divided into 2 equal pieces. 2 equal parts. Now, we could divide something into 2 equal parts in lots of different ways as long as the 2 parts are equal. That is the most important thing to remember about fractions, is that all parts have to be equal, and equal means the same. So we could divide it into equal parts like this. This part is the same as this part. We could divide it into 2 equal parts like this, because this part is the same as this part. They are equal. And we could also divide it into 2 equal parts like this, because this part is equal to this part. This is 1/2 of the circle, and this is 1/2 of the circle. When you put the 2 pieces together, they become a whole. But if it's just one of them, it's 1/2. So it's the same for the other 2. This is 1/2 of the square, and this is 1/2 of the square. This is 1/2 of the rectangle and 1/2 of the rectangle. Now I want to talk for a second about the number that I'm writing. I just wrote 1/2. Now if I write 1/2, that means that I have 2 pieces and it's just one of them. So in here I have 2 pieces, and this is one of them, and this is one of them. So the top number is called the numerator, and the bottom number is called the denominator. And all those numbers mean are how many pieces there are total and how many you are working with. So with fractions like this, if we were to cover this up, I would only have 1/2 of the circle. I would only have 1 piece out of 2. 1 out of the 2 pieces. 1 out of 2. All right. So if we move on to thirds, I bet you can guess if this was 1, if this was 2 equal parts, then this is going to be 3. It's going to be 3 equal parts. Three equal parts. So, like I said before, what's most important is that you divide or partition, I covered up my word, or partition your shape into equal pieces. The pieces have to be equal. If they're not equal, it's not a fraction. Move Harry out the way. So if I do 3 equal parts, gotta get them as close to equal as possible. Now, each of these pieces, like we talked about before, will have a fraction that goes with it, with a numerator and a denominator. The numerator will tell you how many pieces that is, and the denominator tells you how many pieces total. So if it's thirds, this piece will be 1 piece out of 3, 1/3. This piece will be 1 piece out of 3. This piece will be 1 piece out of 3. So our denominator would change to 3. There are 3 total pieces, and this is just one of them. So 1/3. We could also divide this one into 3 pieces like this. Remember, we try to get them as equal as possible. And then we can divide this one into thirds. 3 equal pieces. So this would be 1 out of 3, 1 out of 3, 1 out of 3. You can say it's 1 out of 3 or 1/3. Same here. 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. And the last one that we're going to do today, if this one was 1 whole piece, this one is 2 pieces, this one is 3 pieces, fourths is going to be, I'm sure you guessed it, 4 equal pieces. Or equal pieces. So now what we have to do is we have to partition. Partition means divide. We have to divide the circle, the square, and the rectangle into 4 equal pieces. Now there are other ways that you could do it, but the most important thing, like I said, is making sure that they are equal. So now I don't have 3 pieces anymore for my denominator, I have 4. There are 4 equal pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 equal pieces. So each piece would be 1/4. 1 out of 4 pieces. Same thing for the square and the rectangle. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 equal-ish pieces. We do the best that we can. And the same over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 equal pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4 equal pieces. And each one of those pieces would be 1 out of 4. So it would have the fraction 1/4. 1/4. 1/4. 1/4. And the last thing I want to remind you before I go is that each of these, when you put them all back together, when you put all 4 pieces back together, it equals 1 whole when all parts are together. When you put all 3 of the pieces back together, it equals 1 whole. When you put both of the pieces back together, it equals 1 whole. I hope that this helps you understand fractions a little bit better. Let us know if you have any questions and we will help you out. Have a great day.